from the corners of the country, from the cities and the farms, with years and years of living tucked up underneath their arms. They walk away from everything just to see a dream come true. So God bless the boys who make the noise on 16th Avenue. There's a quiet little cafe in the middle of this town, where they gather up the poets every night and in the round. And they sing the songs that made them great, and the songs you never knew, the ones they say they'll never play on 16th Avenue.
Barney works down at the A.M.P. He drives a baby blue AMC. Thank you. He missed a day of work in 13 years, and he's a fire department volunteer. He's got a yard that's always just been mowed, collected stamps since he was 10 years old. You never met a more regular guy, but when the sun goes down on Friday night, slaps on his high karate aftershave, slips on his Elvis jacket custom made, puts on his patent leather zebra boots, fires up his super sport Malibu. He burns a rub across the county line, a honky-tonkin' fool to closing time. You ought to see him metamorphosize from Barney Jekyll into Bubba Hyde. Take it. Now Monday morning it's a suit and tie. Attention shoppers, there's a 2-for-1 buy. Tuesday afternoon he mans the wheel and makes his rounds in the bookmobile. He's got a Wednesday night canasta game, Thursday's a tourney at the bowling lane. His friends would freak out if he only knew the party animal he turns into. Slaps on his high karate aftershave, slips on his Elvis jacket custom made, puts on his patent leather zebra boots, fires up his super sport Malibu. He burns a rub across the county line, a honky-tonkin' fool till closing time. You ought to see him metamorphosize from Barney Jekyll into Bubba Hyde. You ought to see him metamorphosize from Barney Jekyll into Bubba Hyde. Bring it on now. Thank you. Thank you for your patience.
Metamorphosize is such an overused word, though, isn't it?
Welcome to the Bluebird. I'm here with a couple good pals of mine. On my right is Gene Nelson, who's
and on your left.
on his on my left, Gene Nelson, songwriter extraordinaire, guitar player extraordinaire.
Oh, please.
And on my right, your left, depending on, well, it could be your right and your left, Paul Williams.
John. And sitting at the piano, looking very much at the center of life, and the Grammy and CMA award-winning songwriter extraordinaire, my friend Jon Vezner. Mrs. James Brolin called me and asked me to write the songs for this movie she was doing, and it was a really interesting time in my life. And first of all, to write songs for Christofferson to sing was amazing, you know, and then to write these songs for this, you know, for this amazing, you know, Barbra Streisand. And I wrote one song with her, just an interesting little note about the song. The very last thing I did before I went on the road with Olivia Newton-John, I got on the phone and called Barbara. We had the first two lines reversed. The original song started out the second line first, and I went, doesn't sing as well. So, love fresh as the morning air, love soft as an easy. She doesn't sing as well. So I called her and said, what if we switch those two lines and start it this way, which we did. And it's the first time ever a love song started with a line about a chair. Love, soft as an easy chair. Love, as fresh as the morning air. Warm, love that is shared by two, I have found with you. Like a rose under the April snow, I was certain that our love would grow. Love, ageless and evergreen, seldom seen by two. You and I will make each night a first, every day a beginning. Spirits rise and their dance is unrehearsed, but they warm and excite us, for we found the brightest love. We're two lights that shine as one, morning glory and the midnight sun. In time we've learned to sail above. Time won't change the meaning of that one love that is ageless and evergreen. Barbra Streisand's music.
You used to say that writing with her was like having a picnic at the end of a runway.
Oh no, you didn't say that. I had to make amends for that sort of thing, and now I have to do it again. You know? Hello, Barbara.
You're welcome.
I've had a minor, I've had a major change in lifestyle, and I'm really sorry. Yeah, I was. You know, when I'm terrified of people, when I'm scared, I get glib, and it's. And that's what happened. She was so intimidating. My God, who wouldn't be intimidated working with somebody like Streisand? And it was just, it's that kind of a schoolyard mentality that when I get scared enough, I just get glib and things came out of my mouth like that. And I just, fact is, she was pretty amazing. You know, she was very focused. And I remember telling her that she said, "What do you have to write?" I said, "I have to have macadamia nuts at my fingertips everywhere." And white wine always, you know, and, which was half true. You know, the white wine for sure in those days. You know, but went to her house the next day, and there were bowls of macadamia nuts everywhere. I mean, she was
Nuts.
she,
Well, this is a song that wrote a couple years ago with my pal Randy Sharp. There's an interesting story to this song too, isn't there, Paul?
grr. Always able to spot a great idea for a song like that. Jon Vezner turns to me on my back porch and says, "How'd you like to write a song called Then What?" I went, let me think about it. 2 days later, he comes back and says
Actually,
this.
I actually did that to two people. I had the first verse and the chorus, and I played it. And of course, then by that time, I thought, God, man.
And as
good.
I listened to it on KZLA day after day after day in Los Angeles, I would drive around going, "Where is there a ledge for me?" You know.
And correct me if I'm wrong. If when you weren't doing that, your wife was asking you that.
Yeah.
And I was out of time when he called me.
Yeah.
Great song which he wrote with Randy Sharp instead of me.
Yeah, a wonderful writer. And I was up at my parents' lake place. They live up in Minnesota there, and there's a little festival a few miles away called Cornstalk, and Clay Walker was playing there, and I got over there late, and he was on his bus, and I got in to see him, and I've known him for some time, and he was playing me a bunch of songs and that he was writing and all that stuff, and Randy and I just finished this song, and I said, you know, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. This was not a pitch. I just said, well, here's a new one I wrote with my friend Randy Sharp, and I played it for him. By this time I got the second chorus, he was singing and doing an interpretive dance, and he said, "I'm going to record that, and I'm going to put." And he did, which is so often not the case. Anyway, and this is a true story. Well, I got a good friend who's got a good life. He got 2 pretty children and a real nice wife. Yet he never seems quite satisfied. I said, I know what's on your mind, but you ought to think about it before you cross that line. Grass ain't always greener on the other side. Then what? What you gonna do when the new wears off and the old shines through? And it ain't really love and it ain't really lust. You ain't anybody anyone's gonna trust. Then what? Where you gonna turn when you can't turn back for the bridges you burn? Fate can't wait to kick you in the butt. Then what? Oh, then what? Now I ain't saying that looking's a crime. I've done my share from time to time. That don't mean you have to take that leap. When you're standing on the brink, before you look, you better step back and think. There's a price for every promise you don't keep. Then what? What you gonna do when the new wears off and the old shines through? And it ain't really love and it ain't really lust, and you ain't anybody anybody's gonna trust. Then what? Where you gonna turn when you can't turn back for the bridges you burn? And fate can't wait to kick you in the butt. Then what? Oh, then what? Take a drink. Do what you like, do what you wish. It's your life, but remember this: there's bound to be some consequences sneaking under other fences. Then what? What you gonna do when the new wears off and the old shines through? And it ain't really love and it ain't really lust. Ain't anybody's gonna trust. Then what? Where you gonna turn when you can't turn back for the bridges you burned? Fate can't wait to kick you in the butt. Then what? Oh, then what? Then what? Then what? Thank you. Thanks, Randy Sharp.
That close to immortality.
Yeah, but if we would have written it, it would have been a ballad.
Would have been a ballad.
Yeah.
Then
why was
Then what?
you and me against the world?
My heart. Then what? What you gonna do when that
When the world breaks down and your life gets...
Then what?
Sing it, G.
Whoa, whoa, baby. Then what?
We'll be right back. We have 5 more sets tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but... Don't forget the tip jar.
Don't forget the tip jar. Please.
Sing
tip.
something, Gene.
All right. Ordinarily, when you're co-writing and your co-writer comes up with a line that you don't particularly care for, or doesn't fit, there's usually some civility and diplomacy involved. You know, as you know, for example, what you gonna do when the news shines through? You know, if you don't like it, you might say, "Well, it's not quite right. It doesn't fit the song. It's not colorful enough, or whatever." But
You don't like that line?
no, that's just an example. I do like that. I love it.
Started to worry. We
And
better
that's
change.
what I would have come up with had you called me to write the song. But I had the occasion to write with a husband and wife team the other day, and it's quite different actually. Because if, for example, if she'd have said, "What you gonna do when the new wears through?" and he didn't like it, he would say, "Well, that stinks." And then she would say, "Well, that's better than anything you've come up with." And then he would say something else, and I would be going like this in the room, doing my best ping pong spectator thing, and praying to the heavens that my wife wasn't in the music business. But we did come up with a song, and it's brand new, and I've never done it, but I'm going to try it anyway. In my secret life, I'm a little bit taller, my nose is smaller, my hair's in style. In my secret life, I'm a snappy dresser, real impresser with my winning smile. In my secret life, all my jokes are funny, got a lot more money, a little more sense, a real man of the world, 1 in a million, who can speak Italian and whisper in French. From a downtown window pane, a face looks back at me. We're staring at the tired, unshaven truth. And it's a cold reality that the man I'll never be is probably the perfect man for you. But in my secret life, we share a taxi. There in the backseat, we say hello. And somewhere down the road, forever finds us. And the love that binds us and never lets go. staring at the tired, unshaven truth. And it's a cold reality that the man I'll never be is probably the perfect man for you. In my secret life, I'm your hero, not just some zero looking for a break. In my secret life, you call me your man, and I ask for your hand, and not your spare change. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you take the money from that song and you pay for marriage counseling. Keep them together and keep writing with them.
It's stunning. That song is just stunning. That song is like the Gretchen's song about Gretchen Peters' song about Picasso's cat. I mean, it's just, it's one of those things that just snapped my head when I heard it, you know. And same as this, it's like, it's just pushing it out a little further. It's raising the bar. It's really, why didn't I think of that? Is what I'm trying to say. It's wonderful.
Thank you, Paul.
It's a great song. Well, you know, I came down here about 4 years ago to participate in Tin Pan South for the Nashville Songwriters Association, and I was done with my music, and I thought, and there's just something in the water here. There's something in that. Actually, it's not in the water. It's in the hearts of people here, and it's a love of songwriting that just is infectious, and I fell in love with songwriting again down here, and went around, talked to a few people, went and saw Tim Whipperman over at Warner Chapel, and said, if I was interested in doing this again, would you want to do it? He said, yeah, maybe. So we got involved again, and one of the first things that happened is I came down right before Christmas, 3 years ago, I guess it was, and was sent out to write with guys that I had never met, and I was terrified. My wife was like, okay, there's your lunch, there's your little shirt, because I had, very frankly, I had never written with anybody sober. I was about 5 or 6 years sober at the time. I'll be 10 in March, so it was like about a year. And I'd never done it sober. I'd never sat down in the same room with somebody and trusted them to hear my bad ideas and try to listen to theirs and let it build into something better. But I sat down the very first day with a guy who'd written this amazing song about a girl who'd been with an alcoholic, and the guy that had written that song was Jon Vezner, and went to John's house and I listened to that. I told him this. What's the name of the song, John?
She's never known.
Never known any better. And I shared a little truth about myself with him. I said, the fact is that I'm kind of the alcoholic in that song, and there was somebody in my life that I was like the alcoholic. And we wrote a song that day. It was the day that we met, and we had really good fortune with this song. I'd love to do it now, and I think it's about recovery, I think. I said, hello, I think I'm broken, and no, I was only joking. It took me by surprise when you agreed. I was trying to be clever, for the life of me I never would have guessed how far the simple truth would lead. You knew all my lines, and you knew all my tricks, and you knew how to heal that pain no medicine can fix.
And I bless the day I met you, and I thank God that He let you lay beside me for a moment that lives on. And the good news is I'm better for the time we spent together. The bad news is you're gone. Looking back, it's still surprising. I was sinking, you were rising, and with a look you caught me in midair. Now I know God has His reasons, but sometimes it's hard to see them when I awake and find that you're not there. And you found hope in hopeless, and you made crazy sane. You became the missing link that helped me break my chains. And I bless the day I met you, and I thank God that He let you lay beside me for a moment that lives on. And the good news is I'm better for the time we spent together. The bad news is you're gone. The bad news is you're gone.
Well, I'm going to do a song that this is a. You can help me with this story with this song.
Is this for Allie?
Yeah.
This is a song that John and I wrote about 4 months ago. I got a phone call from David E. Kelly, and he said that he was writing the finale for Ally McBeal, and basically the story was that Ally McBeal was defending somebody who had been keeping a diary where she had an imaginary lover, her perfect lover. And Allie was in doing this, begins to examine her own, what she's going on in her own life about. Am I being foolish to hold out for that great perfect love affair? And so David Kelly wanted a song that expressed that for Vonda Shepard to sing. And I said, do you know who Jon Vezner is? And do you know some of the stuff that we've written lately? And he did. And so John got on a plane and came out to L.A. and crawled into my guest room and got up early in the morning, and we wrote this song. And it's called I Know Him by Heart. Wow. Why am I doing the introduction?
Well, I
guess I was out of town.
Yeah.
You tried to call me, but I was out of town.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was. My mom was in the hospital at that time, and I really couldn't make it out there. And we sort of kind of rushed out there, and he gave me the script on a Friday night and read it, and got up the next morning. And interestingly, there's a sidebar to this song because we wrote the song, and it was like got up the next morning and just kind of flowed out and wrote it for like 2 days, and we got all the way till like Sunday, but we didn't have a title. Everything but a title, and I had to go into the men's room, and I heard this voice. Actually, I think it was Paul from the other room.
Probably.
But I came out and I said this title to you, which was not exactly the title, it was similar,
Yes.
but you had written a song that was close, and he said, well, I can't write that. And so we kind of had a Freudian slip and came out with I Know Her by Heart. And I guess the real synergy here is that the last scene of Ally McBeal was in a bathroom.
It's in a bathroom.
So, I mean, things just work out, you know?
You know? Coincidence?
Yeah.
We think not.
I've only done this song one other time out, and nobody knew me there, so it didn't matter. There's a secret path I follow to a place no one can find, where I meet my perfect someone I've kept hidden in my mind, where my heart makes my decisions till my dream becomes a vision, and the love I feel makes her real someday. 'Cause I know she's out there somewhere, just beyond my reach. Though I've never really touched her or ever heard her speak, though we've never been together, we've never been apart. No, we've never met, haven't found her yet, but I know her by heart. Am I living an illusion, wanting something I can't see? If I compromise, I'd be living lies, pretending love's not meant to be. 'Cause I know my heart's worth saving, and I know that she'll be waiting. So I'll hold on, and I'll stay strong till then. 'Cause I know she's out there somewhere, just beyond my reach. Though I've never really touched her or ever heard her speak, though we've never been together, we've never been apart. No, we've never met, haven't found her yet, but I know her by heart. No, we've never met, haven't found her yet, but I know her by heart. Thank you. Paul Williams.
Jon Vezner.
And I was out of town. Coming back home from North Carolina a few years ago to visit my mom, I stopped at a restaurant, and this mother and two kids were next to me, and this older kid was just beating up on this younger kid, just whacking him, you know. Finally, the mother just really got fed up, and she just took her hand and just whacked the kid on top of the head, and then she said, "That'll teach you not to hit your younger brother." So about 2 o'clock in the morning, driving, I wrote this song. I didn't have the guitar in my hand while I was driving, but I all in my head. It was Steel Trap right up here. And I should dedicate it to my father, who was one of the most gentle persons in the world. Except for the time he slapped me. I bit him on the arm. It's okay, I'm sorry. But it was a reaction thing, and I was 6 months old, and I don't remember it. But my mother says that he just kind of like, as a reaction, and I don't, I'm not in therapy for it or anything. Tonight my son got to me, talking back to his old man. And he was gonna learn his lesson from the backside of my hand. But before I struck the first blow, he whispered, "Daddy, please." And in his frightened eyes I saw myself when you did that to me. So Daddy, if you're listening, from whichever place you are, I don't blame you for trying, I just think you tried too hard. 'Cause I can't shake these empty feelings hidden deep inside my heart. I love you for the effort, I hate you for the scars. It's taking me a lifetime to undo what you have done. And I can only pray that it won't be the same for my own son. So I might raise hell and raise my voice every now and then. But one thing I know for certain, I won't raise my hand again. So Daddy, if you're listening, from whichever place you are, I don't blame you for trying, I just think I've tried too hard. 'Cause I can't shake these mixed emotions stirring deep inside my heart. I love you for the effort, I hate you for the scars. I love you for the effort, I hate you for the scars. Thank you. Thank you.
Of all the people that have sung my song, I mean, I've had some great records and some great people sing my songs. I mean, I had the same song recorded by Tiny Tim and David Bowie. I mean, it's, I don't know what kind of a songwriter I am, but I never do a set without singing a song that was written by the most talented, generous, amazing creature in all of show business. This was written with Kenny Asher for Kermit the Frog.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Well, rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. Well, so we've been told, and some choose to believe it. But I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Well, who said that every wish would be heard and answered if wished on the morning star? Well, somebody thought of that, someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. And what's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do you think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. And all of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. Well, have you been half asleep? Have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. And is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same, but I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All the lovers, the dreamers, mers. Kermit, when you do that, mers. And me.
Kenny Asher and I.
This is a song I wrote with Alan Shamlin. A two-room apartment, living on vapors, a cardboard card table, a pencil and paper, motor oil coffee, you know what I mean, a little bit thicker than straight Valvoline, an old Sony boombox, pawn shop guitar. I'm light years ahead of when I lived in my car, and miles from home and my family, but deep down I know they're praying for me. 'Cause I pounded the pavement till I worn out my shoes, my feet were all blistered, my pride was all bruised. They say it's pain puts a soul in your voice. I guess that's good, 'cause I don't have a choice. 'Cause I'm 1 in 100 that moved here last spring. By the time the leaves fall, most will give up the dream. But I can't ever quit, I made the good Lord a vow. I'm halfway to heaven, I'm in Nashville now. Some risk broken homes, some risk broken hearts, selling their soul for a song on the charts. But I'll really know I've made it one day when I get to sing at the Bluebird Cafe. 'Cause it ain't about money, and it ain't about fame, and it ain't about who's on top of their game. It's finding the truth and letting it out. Baby, that's why I'm in Nashville now.
Yeah. Well, talk about blatantly sucking up to an audience, just screeching with hunger.
It's music business.
It's a dirty business.
Every time I play with Vezner, I have to do one song that his mom always requests. And it just so happens that was also requested by my kids to do tonight, who are here.
Have you gotten her a copy of that tape yet? She asks every time. She finally left town. She's getting old.
It's in the mail. Wrote this with Steve Bogart. You broke my heart, you blew my mind, you cheated and you lied. But I'm not one to self-indulge, to sit around and cry. So I found me a brand new friend who loves away my blues. Now when I need my spirits lifted, she knows what to do. Heartache, roll over. Heartache, lay down. Heartache, let's take another stroll around town. We're gonna have some fun, show everyone how bad we don't feel. I got a dog named Heartache, and I'm teaching her to heal. Sometimes it takes a while. She's not like you, she won't run off and leave you all alone. She's always glad to see me anytime that I come home. I look into her big brown eyes and see undying love. She's helping me get over you, just watch her do her stuff. Heartache, roll over. Heartache, lay down. Heartache, let's take another stroll around town. We're gonna have some fun, show everyone how bad we don't feel. I got a dog named Heartache, and I'm teaching her to heal. Got a dog named Heartache, and I'm teaching her to heal. Heartache, roll over.